Chapter 8 50 Years Later. Higelac was killed in war, with Beowulf fighting by his side. When Higelac's son was killed in battle, Beowulf became king. He defeated the enemies of the Geats, maintained the friendship between the Danes and the Geats, and ruled wisely for 50 years. There were 50 years of peace for the Geats, until the man stole the goblet. In the old times, 300 years before Beowulf's rule, a noble tribe was dying out. All of them had been killed in battle except one man, who gathered all the tribe's treasure and hid it in the barrow that the tribe had built. Before he himself died, this last survivor looked sadly for the last time on all of the riches he had piled up, magnificent, but now useless. The barrow was in a desolate place by the sea, but soon it was discovered by a dragon looking for a lair. When it saw the hoard inside, its greedy little eyes grew as big as golden plates. For 300 years, it jealously guarded the treasure. And then, one night, a slave, running away from a hard master, came across the barrow and found his way in. The sight of the sleeping dragon scared him nearly to death, and in a moment of panic, his hand reached out and grabbed a precious goblet. Terrified, the man ran out of the barrow. But what could he do now? Where could he go? "I'll take this goblet back to my master," he thought. "He'll forgive me for running away, and when I tell him where all this treasure is, perhaps he'll reward me, or free me." When the dragon woke up, it knew straight away something was missing. Its eyes frantically scanned its riches.
"A goblet!"
It ran outside and saw footprints.
"A man!"
Hatred, rage, and the need for revenge filled the dragon. When it was dark, it spread its wings and rose into the air. Breathing flames from its mouth, it flew towards where men had their homes. The revenge of the dragon that first night was awesome. At dawn, the Geats looked around and saw a landscape of burnt, smoking homes and farms. Back in its lair, the dragon's rage grew ever greater when it realized the goblet was still missing.
"My precious goblet! My precious, precious goblet!"
As soon as the sun set, it began another night of terror. In the pale light of dawn, Beowulf looked around at the smouldering ruins of his mead hall.
Did Hrothgar feel like this when he saw Heorot Hall after Grendel's raids?
He thought.
But that monster didn't destroy Heorot Hall. What have I done to deserve this? I fought against Grendel with my bare hands. What can I do against a fire-breathing dragon that flies in the night?
But then he wiped away his dark thoughts.
But I must take revenge for all this destruction, and my people must see my courage.
He called for a blacksmith and told him to make an iron shield.
No army,
thought Beowulf.
A few men, the best men.
He called 11 warriors, led by his relative and favourite, Wiglaf. When the shield was ready and the men were fully armed, they rode through the smoking, smouldering landscape, gathering news. It wasn't long before they came across the farm where the slave and his master lived. They were both hiding in a hut, terrified. The master was clutching the goblet. They made the slave show them the way to the barrow. It was on a bleak, windswept hill overlooking the sea. Before they reached the way in, Beowulf ordered everyone to rest. He put down the huge iron shield and sat down.
That shield is heavy,
He thought.
Would it have been so heavy 50 years ago? They used to say I had the strength of 30 men in each hand. Grendel certainly found out how strong I was, and his mother. And how many men did I defeat in battle, fighting for Higelac and his son? Hundreds! But now...
For a while he was lost in thought. Then he leapt to his feet.
Come here, man,
He ordered.
I want to speak to you.